When the season ends, what will they remember? Welcome back to another episode of JV Matters, where we talk about football. I'm your host, Coach Lowry. Today, we'll finish up our topic on loyalty. So let's get at it. As we wrap up Chapter 10 on loyalty, I want to leave you with one final thought. One day, football season will be over. It'll come to an end. The helmets will get put away. The locker room will get cleaned out. The uniforms will get turned in. The lights on the field will go dark. And eventually, another group of players will take their place. That's the cycle of football. Every coach knows it. Every player eventually experiences it, and they know it. But here's the question that has stayed with me throughout my coaching career. When the season ends, what will they remember? Will they remember the score? Every score? Probably not. Will they remember every practice? Probably not. They'll remember some of them, some of the tough ones. But they won't remember them all. Will they remember every play called? Most likely not. But they will remember how they were treated. They'll probably remember whether they felt valued. They'll remember whether their coaches were fair and treated them fairly. They'll remember whether their teammates stood beside them when things got hard. And they'll remember whether the word loyalty was something your team talked about or something your team actually lived. They'll remember their coaches, good or bad. They'll remember them all right. They'll remember the good ones and they'll remember the bad ones. I've been coaching for a long time, and if there's one thing I've learned, it's this: winning games creates memories, building relationships creates legacies. I had former coaches, I've had former players reach out years later after our program. And very few of them started conversations with the games they've won or we've won. Instead, they've talked about lessons, a conversation we had after practice, a time we had struggling someone and someone who believed in them, a moment when a teammate picked them up instead of tearing them down. That's what stayed with them. Loyalty is measured when everyone, loyalty isn't measured when everyone is celebrating a championship. It's measured on ordinary days, tough practices, difficult conversations, a disappointing loss, the moment when it's easier to quit than stay committed. That's when loyalty becomes real. Loyalty is measured on the hard days, not the easy one. To my players, I want to say this: be loyal to your teammates, not because they're perfect. Nobody is. Nobody's perfect. But because they're your teammates. Support them. Encourage them. Hold them accountable. Celebrate their successes without being jealous of it. One day, you'll realize those relationships meant more than a trophy because those teammates will remember you long after locker rooms are cleaned out and grow quiet. To my assistant coaches, I leave this. I want to say this: support each other. There will be disagreements and there will be a little bit of arguments and tensions here and there. There'll be stressful weekends, stressful weeks. There will be moments when you're frustrated. Handle those moments with professionalism. Your players are watching how you treat one another, the culture you build as a coach becomes the culture you build for your players every day. That will be the culture you leave for your team for generations to come. And to the head coaches listening, never forget that culture starts with you. Players will follow your example before they follow your words. If you want loyalty, be loyal. If you want honesty, be honest. If you want accountability, hold yourself accountable. Leadership has always become or is always about setting the example. One of my favorite sayings is this: people may forget what you said, they may forget what you accomplished, but they'll never forget how you made them feel. As coaches, we have an incredible opportunity. We don't just teach football, we help shape young men during the most important years of their lives. That's a responsibility I'll never take lightly. Years from now, your players won't remember every drill. Well, they'll remember a couple of them, the ones you had them repeat over and over. They won't remember every conditioning session, maybe a couple of them. They won't remember every game plan, but they'll remember whether you trusted them, whether you believed you care, whether they believed you cared for them, whether you were loyal to them when they needed you, someone in their corner. Be the one they can count on. Be the kind of coach I hope I can continue to be. And that's the kind of teammate I hope every player strives to become. Because football eventually ends. Character doesn't. Relationships don't. The impact we have on people doesn't. So, in closing, as we close out this chapter, remember this: loyalty isn't something you ask for, it's something you demonstrate every day. Be the teammate people can count on, be the coach players trust, be the leader who puts the team before yourself. Because when the final whistle blows and the season is over, your greatest legacy won't be your record. It will be the people whose lives you helped change. Thank you for joining me in chapter 10. I'll see you in the next chapter where we'll continue exploring what it really means to build not just football players, but better young men. If you enjoyed this episode and the others, please share with family and friends. Hit the bell below so you don't miss anything. Leave comments below as well. And I'll see you on the next episode of JV Matters. You all have an outstanding day.